Hi everybody, it's Tanya and welcome to today's video. Today I'm here to chat with you about my reading plans for March, my TBR for March. I haven't gotten to some books from my February TBR, so some of the books from my February TBR stay for my March TBR, such as Grain of Wheat by Gogi Wanyongo. Just didn't have enough time to get to this, but I'm very excited about it. And also my Iranian book, I Hid My Voice. I will not talk about it too much because I already talked about it in my February TBR, so I will link that video up here. So these are the two main books which I didn't get to during February. I just put down Hermann Hesse for a while. I started reading it, but then I just understood that it's not the time yet. apparently it's not the time. Maybe it will never be the time for me and Hermann Hesse. But yeah, Hermann Hesse, Narcissus and Goldmund, temporarily. I haven't officially DNF'd it yet, but like temporarily I just put it down. I feel like it's not currently we don't understand each other with Hermann Hesse. Currently we're on different waves and we don't understand each other. So apart from those books, now I will talk about my new books, my new plans for March. Some of these are buddy reads because I have discovered that I like buddy reads, that I enjoy them. So I have actually 4 buddy reads. So we are continuing Cancer Word with Kiran from KG Books. His channel will be in the description box. So we are continuing with the Cancer Word, and like, I don't know, it's really fun. I really enjoy reading book with like him and discussing. We kind of discuss each chapter after we finish each chapter, kind of what we liked, what surprised us, and it's really interesting. So yeah, I realized that I actually enjoy buddy reads. So yeah, we are continuing this, and then I have 3 new buddy reads. So first of all, on my Discord group, which is like BBB Book Club, also link if you want to join the book club will be in the description box down below. So with a few people from the Discord, we decided to buddy read first of all The Leopard by Giuseppe Tommaso di Lampedusa. I'm not sure if I pronounce his name correctly, but yeah, it's this book. First of all, it's just beautiful. I kind of decided, by the way, that I will be showing you books like close, because I realized that for me personally, editions are very important. Like, comfort of reading for me is very important, and so I just want to show you what the books are like, what font is like in them. So you will see like clips of this book, like close-ups of this book. This edition is actually very beautiful and very comfortable. The font is super comfortable to read, so I'm really looking forward to reading this book. So from what I know from the synopsis of the book, this story is set in 1869, and so there is talk of uprising in the country. However, the prince of the country, what's his name? Prince Fabrizio knows that beneath these superficial changes in the structure of his country, the sensuality, languor and corruption of his native land will never change. But can his family's ancient power endure? Lampedusa's myth remains astoundingly relevant, reflecting any modern edifice of power and money, just as surely as it shows us a corner of 19th century Italy. So I'm super excited to get to this book. I have been looking at it for a very long time, and finally I got it because of this beautiful edition, and now we decided to buddy read it with the girls from Discord group, so I'm very excited about this buddy read. Also, I have from the same edition, because I fell in love I fell in love with these editions, so it's from the same series. It's called European Classics, I think. Yeah, Vintage Europeans. Yeah, Ex Libris Vintage Classics, and this is like European edition. This is Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert, and this book we are going to buddy read with Risha from For the Love of Classics, which I'm also very excited about this buddy read. I have been watching her channel for a long time already, and then finally I watched her bookshelf tour, which I will also link down below. It was a very relaxing and beautiful video, and so she was talking there about the books that she has on her shelf and that she hasn't read, and there was like a bunch of classics which I was also interested in, and I just contacted her on Instagram and I said like, would you like to budget read any of your classics? I would like to read as well, so if you would like to budget read anything. So she chose Madame Bovary. So I'm also, I have been looking at this book for a very long time, and also it's such a beautiful edition. It's I think it's a new translation as well. It's a new translation by Adam Thorpe, who is apparently also a writer and a poet, but I haven't heard his name before. So he translated this Madame Bovary, this version. So I'm also very excited to budget read it with Risha, and also girls from Discord also want to read it, so I will read it like with a few people. I'm very much looking forward also to these classics. If you have read The Leopard or Madame Bovary, let me know what you thought of them. I'm actually very excited because, again, in this book it's written that Gustave Flaubert apparently was a very, how do you say it? Perfectionist. He was a perfectionist. Apparently he could think at one phrase for a very long time. He wanted his language to be perfect. He was very serious about his writing, and I am super interested to see his book. Well, obviously it's an English translation, not French, so it's going to be different. But anyway, yeah, I'm very excited also about the budget and about this book. One more budget which we will also do with girls from my Discord group. We will be budget reading North and South. I will put a picture here. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. One of them suggested it on Discord, and this book has been recommended to me so many times. Like, it has been recommended a lot of times, and I really want to read it. It's just that like I also have like so many other books and I just never gotten to it. And so then after girls suggested budget reading it, I was like, it's actually a good opportunity to finally read it. So I also decided to join their budget read. And so yeah, we will be budget reading North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which I'm super excited about. It will be my second Gaskell. My first Gaskell was her very short book. I don't it's somewhere on the shelves. Which was called Louise the Witch. I read it in January. Really enjoyed it. It was a super short novella, but I really liked it. So now I'm very excited to finally read her North and South. And then after North and South, I want to get to Mary Barton. So that's the plan. One more budget read, also with a girl from Discord. We are going to read Alexander Kufrin. First we decided to start with Olesya because she also has Olesya in her collection. We will be reading it in Russian. Super excited also about that. And then after Olesya, because Olesya is a very short novella, like 90 something pages, maybe we will choose something else. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited about all of my budget reads. I don't really know a whole lot about Olesya. So apparently it's about this young man, Ivan Timofeyevich, who just by chance came across a small village where he can do nothing except for hunt. Like, there is nothing to do except hunting. And once in a forest he got lost, and he just came across a small house, and in this house lived two women. One of them was an old woman and her granddaughter, and they had this kind of fame of being witches. And of course he falls in love with the older woman's granddaughter, and she kind of told him his fortune. She predicted him love, and he was kind of thinking that, did she mean herself? Like, did she mean that I'm going to fall in love with her? And so yeah, apparently it's going to be a story of love or something like that. So I've only read Garnet Bracelet by Kufrin, which I adore. I adore the Garnet Bracelet. So I'm excited to continue with Olesya. And after Olesya, I think I will just continue reading Yama, because I'm also super excited about Yama. Yama is a novel about prostitutes and public house, and it just portrays lives of these girls and how they got there, why they got there, and it's also quite critical about the society and men, like, using the services. Yeah, I'm super excited about this book, like the whole of this book. I also think it's very beautiful. So these are my budget reads. Also, I'm going to have 2 books for my BBB book club, so the big book book club. If you're interested, you're very welcome to join. The link will be down below in the description. I am finishing in February. In February I am finally finishing my Don Quixote. You see, I have like it's like 100 pages left. I have 100 pages left. Soon I will finish Don Quixote. And then starting March, actually a lot of people have already started. I feel like when I start the Count of Monte Cristo, everybody will already finish it. Because everybody has already started reading it. Okay, not everybody, but some people. But it's okay. So yeah, for the BBB book club, we are reading in March. We are reading 2 books. We are reading the Count of Monte Cristo, and we are reading the Old Drift. Count of Monte Cristo is for, like, the plan is for 2 months. It's for March and April, because you see it's a chunky book. The plan is like 20 pages a day, 22 pages a day. We have a like chapter breakdown on the Discord group, so you can also follow that breakdown. And so in 2 months we will finish this. And the Old Drift is actually quite short. It's like 500 something pages, like 565 pages. So we plan to finish it in March. Also, if we read 20 pages a day, we will finish it in March. Yeah, it's something like an epic that tells a story of a few families throughout a few generations of the families living in Zambia, and it's like different families. Like one of them is Indian family, one of them is Zambian family, one of them is English family, and it's all like taking place apparently in Zambia. It follows the story of the family from the past to the like near future somewhere. So it's like, it's kind of a historical novel, but also a sci-fi novel apparently. So that's going to be interesting. And another interesting part about this book is that it narrated by mosquitoes. So have you ever read a book narrated by mosquitoes? I haven't. So, and yeah, and this book is compared to 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's also compared to Aeneid. I always mispronounce that word, Aeneid. Yeah, so it's written here that a founding epic in the vein of Virgil's Aeneid, compared to these 2 books, which is very exciting. So we will start reading it in March. So these are the plans for like all of my buddy reads, and now the books that I am going to read not for buddy, it's just like by myself. So like I said, I'm going to continue with my February TBR primarily. So Gogi Wan Yongo, I Hid My Voice, my Iranian book. I will also be continuing with some of the books from my Japanese literature challenge TBR. So if you're interested in that TBR, I will link it up here also in this corner. I will not be repeating those books because I have already talked about them there, so you can just watch the video. But yeah, I will also be picking up some of the books from there. I'm currently reading Kokoro by Natsume Soseki, so after I finish Kokoro, I will pick up something else from my Japanese TBR as well. I'm also currently reading Gilgamesh, but in 3 editions. So 3 different translations of Gilgamesh. I kind of thought that, okay, I should start kind of educate myself on history of literature and start reading books like from the very beginning, like from the very beginning of times. And so I googled which is like the first book ever written, and apparently it's Gilgamesh. So I mean, there of course were some poems and stuff like that, but like the big epic ever written, like not spoken but written, apparently was Gilgamesh. And so I decided to start with this novel, and I got it in 3 different editions because first of all 3 different translations, but also 3 different introductions and different notes. So I'm reading a chapter from each edition. Actually, Oxford edition contains not only Gilgamesh, it also contains like myth, like for example they have myths of creation, the flood and stuff like that, but I primarily focus on Gilgamesh. As for these editions, like I have to say, I think the best introduction was in, like if you're interested to read Gilgamesh, I think the best introduction was in Penguin edition. the best notes so far, because I've read just like the first chapter, the best notes were here, in my opinion, in Norton Critical Editions, and the best translation so far of the first chapter that I read was also here. I enjoyed it the most. I enjoyed the first chapter from this edition. I feel like it's more flowy, and it's just, I don't know, it was easier to read for me. But obviously I haven't finished. I will continue. But actually Penguin was also quite good. Oxford wasn't my favorite, but Gilgamesh, I also like, I don't really know like from when were each of these books like published really, and like from what year is their translation. Maybe some of these translations are newer, because the thing with the Gilgamesh is that it's not completely recovered yet, so there are a lot of missing parts in the story. It's not like one complete story. Also, our knowledge of like the language currently is not perfect, so there are some also misunderstood expressions, or not misunderstood, like people don't know what those expressions mean, so they're like not translated. So like when you read the novels, I will show you, there are like missing sections. Like for example, you see here, this is like a missing part. They also have, if you see, sometimes like they have to insert like word to kind of guess. I think the best example would be Oxford edition. It's like the most visible in here. You see they miss. So yeah, Gilgamesh isn't completely recovered yet, and isn't completely translated yet, so it's not like a complete definitive translations like either of them. But it's very interesting actually. I'm learning a lot about Mesopotamian culture and Mesopotamian history, which I didn't know a lot about. I only knew kind of location that it's like on the territory of Iraq, partially territory of Syria, and partially territory of Turkey. That's like all I knew. And now I'm learning a little bit also about their religion and their languages, which was very interesting. So yeah, I decided to educate myself on the history of like humankind. And I started with like the first written story, Gilgamesh, and then I want to continue with like other ancient literature from other parts of the world as well. So yeah, I'm super enjoying, like super excited to finish, but it will take me a long time, because like I said, I'm also reading like additional material, like all the introductions here and notes, and then I'm also like just on the internet I'm searching about Mesopotamia, Sumerian civilization. So that's fun, that's interesting. So yeah, my Gilgamesh, that's what I'm reading also in March. Hopefully I will finish it in March, because it's not that long. You see, all three of these books, like they contain 3 versions, because Gilgamesh has 3 versions. So there's like a standard version, which is like I think from the 8th century BC. There is also the earliest version, which is like, why it's the earliest written, because the earliest versions were written in like 2500s BC, something like that if I'm not mistaken. So that's super interesting. Can you imagine you are reading a book written like 4000 years ago? That's like mind-blowing. Continuing with Gilgamesh, and one more of my like new plans for March is Untouchable. My Malkraj Anand, if I pronounce his name correctly. One of my favorite books of the previous year, 2020, was Familiar Things by a Korean author, Won Sok-young. And so recently I received a comment that actually Untouchable is also very similar to that book, because it tells a story of this young man in India who belongs to this caste which is called Untouchable, which is apparently one of the lowest castes. So Bakha is a young man, proud and strong, even attractive. He is also an untouchable in India's caste system, sweeper and toilet cleaner, the lowest of the law. He must warn others on the street so that he will not pollute them with his presence. As he seeks comfort in a wrapper of sweet jalebis, a violent encounter leads him to question his fate and find an answer in the unlikeliest of places. Into this urgent 1935 recreation of one day in the life of an outcast, the author poured a vitality and fire that led him to be acclaimed as his country's Dickens. very exciting. Super excited to read this book. I also had it in my on my TBR, not for too long, but quite some time, so I'm very excited to give it a try. So there you have it, guys, all the books that I hope to read in March. I hope I will get to all of them. If you want to join like budgie reads for North and South, if you want to join budgie read for The Leopard, Madame Bovary, if you want to join and read any of these books with us, which is like Count of Monte Cristo and The Old Drift, very welcome to do so. The link will be down below in the description box. Yeah, if you just want to talk about books, also you can join our Discord. Let me know in the comments what books you are going to read in March. What are your reading plans? I'm super excited about all of my books. I'm super excited to finally finish Don Quixote and jump into a new book, big boy, into a new chunky book, which is The Count of Monte Cristo. If people are already reading it and really enjoying it, apparently, so I'm very curious to see for myself what this book is going to be like. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a very good day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found some interesting also book recommendations. Maybe you will join our budgie reads. And yeah, have a very good day, enjoy your books, and I will see you soon in my next videos. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.